Hi, I'm Suzi Perry, and I'm delighted to be joined by two halves of the collaboration featuring two of my favourite things, motorsport and wolves. Wolves this weekend have made partnership with Gulf Racing to join for the Le Mans 24 virtual. And I'm really pleased to say that joining me on the line is Russell Jones, the General Manager of Marketing and Commercial Growth at Wolves, and professional driver with Gulf Racing, Ben Barker. Welcome, both of you. This is so exciting. Russell, perhaps if you can kick things off for us and just tell me how this partnership came about and what does it involve?
Yeah, sure, no, absolutely. Well, firstly, thanks to you, Susie, and to you, Ben. It's feeling really real now. We're getting really close to the race. To provide some background, Gulf Racing and Wolves are obviously from traditionally different sports. Gulf Racing competes in the World Endurance Championship as a technical racing team, and Wolves compete, as we know, in the English Premier League. We share a mutual contact who's actually an IT consultant at Wolves and also the team manager at Gulf Racing. And we talk regularly about lots of different things, and he's very familiar with esports program. And when it was evident that the Le Mans was going to be postponed this year and instead replaced with a virtual event, he actually reached out to me to find out if we had any interest in getting involved. And it didn't take us very long to say we'd love to be involved, and here we are.
And what does that involvement mean? I've seen the livery of the car. It looks absolutely fantastic. Is there any more to it than that?
Yeah, no, there is. I think each party brings a specific set of skills, and I'm sure Ben will talk a little bit more about the technical side shortly. But Gulf Racing are they're racing experts, and this sim is actually incredibly realistic. It really is. So strategy, damage to cars, pit stops, driver swaps, they're all a fundamental part of this. And actually, that knowledge and expertise that the Gulf Racing have is imperative. I think Wolves, on the other hand, are they have some expertise in esports. So we spent a bit of time working with the team on helping them select the sim drivers, doing some testing on that. We also bring the expertise of our content team. We have a big content team that can really get behind the event at the weekend and increase the audience. And what comes with a bigger audience is some commercial opportunities. Certainly, we're delighted that Mamba X and CoinDeal will feature on the car livery. And also it provides us with another interesting story to tell to our both potential commercial customers and also new partners. And anything that's generated there is then clearly shared as part of this partnership.
And do you see this as just happening this weekend, just a virtual thing, or could we possibly see Wolves on an actual car in the future?
Well, I think it's early days. Motorsport is obviously very expensive. So that's a conversation I'm clearly going to have with the chairman here. But look, let's see how this weekend goes. I think we've all been really blown away with the interest that this partnership has created, not just from Wolves fans, but also from the media more widely. And from a personal perspective, a little bit like you, Susie, my two passions are motor racing and Wolverhampton Wanderers. So I would love nothing more than to see a Wolves and Gulf Racing branded car on the grid in September.
Yeah, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Let's talk to Ben then, who's going to be in the sim, of course, the driver for Gulf Racing. Of course, it was supposed to be Le Mans this weekend. You would have been there. You've had great success there in the past. This is going to be a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't really know what to expect at the moment. I've never done an e-race myself. I've driven on the simulator a little bit in the past, but yeah, I'm very much used to the real thing. So over 10, 11 years of racing cars, you build up that muscle memory and that visceral kind of experience of driving a race car. And that's kind of taken out of the equation, basically, in a simulator scenario. So pretty tough, actually, to get used to it. I've done a lot of laps so far, and I'm still not where I want to be. But I think the pace should be good. It's certainly going to be different. And I think it's going to be quite intense, actually, from a mental point of view, probably more intense than reality. Just because, that feeling is taken out of it, and it's very much a visual thing. So highly looking forward to it, though, and hopefully we'll do well.
Yeah, it is going to be a different experience. So I'm just wondering, how much of an experience do you get in the sim? Do you get a 3G experience? Do you get the feeling of being in a car at all, or is it completely looking at a screen?
No, you do actually. I mean, the software developers have done a mega job. So R Factor 2 on creating the circuit and making it as realistic as possible. So a lot of the curbs that you take do actually kind of feel like what they do in reality. As far as the sim itself, it's a static rig. The only feedback that you get is through the steering wheel and through the pedals. And actually, the hardware developers for those particular items have done a mega job. Like you can really feel understeer and oversteer through the force feedback with the wheel, and it's actually really accurate, you know. But like I said, you don't feel that lateral, that G-force at all. So that aspect is taken out of it. So for me, who's a rookie on a simulator, really is pretty weird.
It is going to be hugely competitive, though, isn't it? I've just looked at the entry list. There's some really fantastic top names joining in this weekend, the likes of Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Felipe Massa, and there's going to be 50 cars on the grid. I mean, this is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, no pressure. It's going to be it's going to be massive. What's great is you've got those guys. You've got the best of the best in Formula One coming and meeting the best of the best in GT racing and sports car racing. So there's a lot of, well, it's mostly built up with the top drivers in the world. So from that aspect, it's going to be hugely competitive. And what initially for me was kind of thinking it would be a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh. It's serious. So it's game on Saturday.
I think when you get professional drivers together, it always gets so competitive, doesn't it? I can't wait to see what's so special about Le Mans. Why is it the jewel of the crown of the calendar, do you think?
I mean, you just got to look at the history of it. It's been around for almost 100 years. It's iconic, you know, and I think it's highly regarded as being the biggest race motorsport event in the world. So, and I think, you know, you can tell that by the people who show interest in it and the people who want to come and race in it. For example, Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button. You know, there's some big kind of A-lister names within motorsport that really want to be a part of it. So yeah, I think just the history of the event, and you know, you talk to anyone really from the general public who has a bit of an interest in motorsport, they've always heard of Le Mans 24 Hour. So yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it is. And just back to you then, Russell, just hearing Ben talk about Le Mans, how excited is everybody at Wolves to be involved in such a prestigious event?
I think everyone's really, really excited. I mean, since the moment we announced the partnership, it's really caught fire here. As you both were just talking about, that the fact that so many stars of motor racing are involved has clearly risen the profile of the event significantly. And yesterday, the WEC sent over a list of all the broadcasters around the world that are covering this event. So it's not just been streamed. You know, you'd almost associate a virtual event with just stream, whether that be on Twitch or on YouTube. But actually, you know, the big broadcasters like Eurosport, Sky Sports, ESPN, they're all involved in this event. And it is going to be the biggest sim race in history. So it's massively exciting for everyone.
Esports at Wolves has grown so huge, really, hasn't it, over the last 18 months? Why do you think it is such a big focus for Wolves right now? And I must admit, I got hugely involved in the summer as well with the success of Diogo Jota.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think that it is starting to, you know, the virtual world and the esports world, particularly during this lockdown, seems to have come closer than it ever has before. But from a Wolves perspective, you know, we see esports as a great opportunity to reach a brand new audience. To give some context of, as you were saying about Diogo, I mean, I remember sitting in the stadium watching Flavio Brito, who's one of our professional Brazilian players, play. He was playing at the Foot Champions Cup in Bucharest. And whilst I watched Wolves play against Aston Villa with 32,500 people in the stadium, I was also watching him competing on Twitch with 95,000 concurrent viewers tuning in. So 3 times the amount of people that were watching the actual physical game. I mean, the numbers they really are quite staggering. And I think from a club perspective, we've now got teams in PUBG, in Identity 5, in kart racing, as well as FIFA. And as I said previously, it's all about being able to tell different stories to our commercial partners. And it's also about being able to extend the Wolves brand and grow our fan base around the world.
Yeah, so, you know, you've just talked about it, the growth there. Where do you see it growing? You know, it sounds like this could just be such a massive thing for the club.
Yeah, no, and it is. And as I say, we've got very active teams in Europe, and we've got active teams in China. We've also got, this is a fantastic collaboration for us. We're really excited about this one. But there's another 5 or 6 that we're working on really hard behind the scenes. I can't say too much about those, but they expose us to a whole new industry. And this one is, really move us into the motorsport space. But we've got other opportunities that will move us in other directions. So lots happening over the next 12 months, and all really exciting.
Yeah, it does sound absolutely thrilling. And Ben, back to you. I can see you've got a Wolf shirt there in the back of shot. What's your experience with football? Have you got a team?
I do, yeah. Although I grew up playing a lot of football until motorsport took over my life. Well, go-karting when I was about 10. So I was obsessed with playing football. I can't say that I'm a Wolves fan, but I'm not really a fan of anyone as such. But Wolves definitely has a soft spot for me. I've been lucky enough to go to the end of season awards the last couple of years with our mutual contact, who's the team manager at Golf, and I've seen how much of a sort of family atmosphere almost Molineux has to its ground, and I've definitely grown towards Wolves, that's for sure. And they've impressed the last couple of years. I always love watching Wolves play. There's such energy about the way they play, and yeah, it's cool. Maybe in a few years, who knows?
Well, they've grown so much in the last few years. Obviously, going up into the Premier League and playing in Europe, have a great status and a huge following. So it must feel good for you knowing that you've got backing from a team like that, a team that's going places.
Oh, it's massive. I'm really excited about this kind of synergy that we've got going with Wolves, and they are such an exciting club. I think the most exciting club, to be honest, in football at the moment. And some of the players that they have as well are just mind blowing. So yeah, to have that synergy and that kind of exposure with Wolves is obviously a great opportunity for us at Golf Racing and Le Mans 24 Hour, and hopefully also for Wolves with the motorsport aspect as well. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Well, Ben, the car looks great. The livery looks really cool. I think I've had a look at some of the other ones. I reckon it's one of the best ones out there. What are you expecting this weekend?
Well, it's hard to know where anyone is. As usual in motorsport, there's always a little bit of sandbanking going on. That's where certain manufacturers try and hold back time and stuff. So you're not quite sure the outright pace of all the manufacturers, but I think it will be close. We've done a couple of tests and a couple of test races, and I had some good battles with Charles Leclerc and some other F1 drivers, and my pace seemed pretty good. So we've got high hopes for certainly fighting for a podium. But Le Mans 24 Hour is all about finishing the race. It's all about keeping clean. You don't necessarily need to be the absolute fastest car. You just need to have your head screwed on and stay out there and keep doing laps.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've had some good communication. How does the comms work, by the way, between the team, between all of you? Presumably, you can all talk together.
Yeah, so we're on a piece of software called Discord, which basically connects us all on one server so that we can all talk to each other. You can't talk to other cars and other teams, so we're in communication with all the drivers, and also our engineer as well, and we'll have a strategist as well for the race, I hope. So yeah, we're kind of all in comms and we bounce off each other, but there's going to be periods of time, obviously in 24 Hour, where some people are going to be snoozing and others are obviously driving, so the radio could be a bit silent occasionally. You've
got to do a minimum, I think, of 4 hours driving, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the team is made up of 4 people, 2 pro sim drivers, 2 professional drivers, and I guess you've got 2 good sim drivers with you, because that's going to be key, right?
100%. Yeah, we got Eros and Adam, and they're quick. They're really quick, faster than me. I'm really kind of taking their lead, and I'm trying to understand what they're doing and how to go faster. So thank God they're on our team, and they're super quick, and hopefully they can pull my weight a little bit.
Well, Ben, personally, I wish you all the best this weekend. It sounds like it's such a great festival, really, isn't it? That's happening, virtual festival. There's even a pop concert, I think, that's going to be happening too. So yeah, let's hope that you can get on the podium for Wolves.
Yeah,
Cheers,
guys. I appreciate the support as well from everybody at Wolves and all the fans in the club and everyone. So hopefully we put on a good show.
Thanks, Ben. And final thoughts, Russell, from you on this one?
Oh no, well, we can't wait. Really wishing Ben and the rest of the team all the very best. We'll be tuning in, and I'm sure Wolves fan will be joining us to really cheer for the Wolves golf racing car. So good luck.
Well, thanks, Russell. Thanks, Ben. And you can catch all the action from 2:00 BST tomorrow. An incredible festival with that fantastic Wolves golf racing livery. We wish you the best of luck, Ben. Thank you.